Welcome to the Rated Gen Z podcast, Harshini. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm laughing because I just discovered you're 18. I thought you were 17. I'm like, wait, wrong show.
Yeah.
Had to intro the correct podcast since I have two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I we were just saying, hey, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So I'm Harshini. I'm 18 years old, and right now I'm part of three nonprofit clubs. So I do the Kindness and Smile Zone, which is basically helping children put on smile, like, and not have a boring day at the hospital. And I participate in another club called Girls Wellness Initiative. It is started by my friend. So she, like a group of my friends, and they wanted to help period poverty across the world and reduce the amount of un, like limited resources to women. And I'm also doing the Youth Entrepreneurship and Incubation Academy. It's not exactly a nonprofit, but it is a way to create like your own ideas from pre-seed to actually incubating it and launching it that I'm working on right now. And we have a team that I have posted on LinkedIn, and we are currently researching and taking interviews of women across the world. And we're kind of focusing on how to limit the gap between the knowledge of women and, the products that we use and the way that they're like kind of marketed towards women. So that is what we are mainly focusing on right now, and that's what I've been working on right now. So yeah.
And am I allowed to share that you also want to start a podcast of your own?
Yes, I have also wanted to start a podcast. I posted about it as well.
Yes.
It's going to start on summer of this year, and I finalized basically to be like the name of my podcast to be The Root, Reach, and Radiance. So it kind of ties with my heritage as an Indian. And yeah, more about that later.
No, I love that. But that's a lot that you've got going on. And also, I've noticed that you've been posting pretty consistently on LinkedIn. So, are you trying to build a personal brand along with the rest of what
Yes,
you're doing?
yes. So, yes, personal branding is one of the important things. So, it's not just the fact that I want to build a personal brand, it's also like networking and getting to know people, like amazing people like yourself. And I actually recently visited my college that I'm going to, University of Texas at Dallas,
Mhm.
and they emphasized a lot about that personal branding. That because I'm going to Jindal School of Management, so it's
Okay.
called JSOM. And there, they really emphasized on networking, community, and personal branding, and LinkedIn profiles, and resumes, and basically putting yourself out there into the real world and taking that initiative to be an adult. So I was like, why start during college? Why start or after college? Why not now? Right. So on December 2025, I was like, okay, we need to actually pay attention to LinkedIn and see what opportunities open up.
It's wild to me because I got on LinkedIn in 2014, I think.
Oh, wow.
14 or 15. And that's actually kind of late because
Mhm.
LinkedIn is actually the oldest social media platform. It's older than Facebook
Mhm.
too. And the shift that I've seen and how it's evolved, and even in the last, I want to say 5 years or even less, the amount of young adults like
Yeah.
college students, now high school students that are on this platform and they're creating content is mind blowing to me
Mhm.
because before everybody's like, oh, this is such an antiquated platform, it's businessy. And the fact that so many of you are on there, you're really changing the way the platform is
Yeah.
and just the content. And so for me, like, I love it. I haven't really talked to my peers about how they feel having so many young adults on the platform, but I find it refreshing,
Mhm.
to be honest. I mean, have you started seeing a shift just like by you posting pretty consistently of now like people reaching out to you, you being able to connect easy, like easier with people because they see that you're actually posting as opposed to just reaching out and then them not having any clue who you are?
So I have noticed a change in LinkedIn. Usually it's for like professional like opportunities, jobs, internships, all of that. And they still happen for sure. But now it's more personal. It's
Mhm.
like not just about those interviews and those job opportunities or those internships, right? It's all of it basically. It's like the back end, it's like what you've put in, what you actually worked on, and you're doing that publicly and you're building yourself publicly. You're building your, say, startup publicly, maybe. Your
Mhm.
entire resume is basically what LinkedIn is. So you're essentially building your own self publicly in that platform. And I've also had a wonderful person, her name is Jessica Lamb. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but she really helped. Like, she created a guide on how to do that LinkedIn personal branding, and
Mhm.
she's done like interviews with colleges and stuff, and she gave me that resource with Neela, of course, and she broke it down on how to build that. So every once in a while I'm trying to like change things up and experiment. Okay, what if this happens? How are they going to react? And it's not just about the fact that, oh, engagement is going on. It's also, how am I reaching my first degree, second degree, and third degree connections? That's also another way that Wilman Chan posted. He said that these are the three like groups, big groups that go when you're trying to, when you post something. So posting is also something that's really new to me, because I am not the kind of person to put myself out in this social platform. I'm always like, okay, what do they have to offer? What do they have to say, right? And I've never formally done it, so it's new, and I'm trying to figure it out as well.
Well, I love that you're being consistent about it because that's something that try to tell people because I do have a lot of people that have reached out to me in the past about how did you manage to gain such a large following and have a personal
Mhm.
brand, and a lot of it had to just be consistent, just posting and that helped a lot. But the consistency piece of it is difficult.
Yes.
We tend to go all in at first, and then a lot of times it just kind of fades or someone gets
Uh-huh.
overwhelmed. And I was someone that I just was like, I got to do it, I got to do it. And I'm glad I did because now I'm in a place where even if I don't post consistently, it's okay. I mean, because I've been doing it for so many years now but to start out, you do have to be pretty much
Yeah.
posting every single day. But I love that you're meeting people, that you're getting the opportunity to network and so forth, because that's what it's all about at the end of
Yeah.
the day. It's building those relationships. And for someone like yourself that's so involved and you want to have your own podcast, it's going to be really important to surround yourself with, the
Yeah.
people that can support you and guide you and give you some advice too.
That's how I found you. So
Oh,
that's how I found this like thing that you're doing. So I was like, yeah, might as well.
yeah, no, I love that. It's difficult though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, trying to, help everybody and especially the youth with everything. I tend to kind of overextend myself too. And I think, we had kind of a little bit of a discussion with that too, because like I want to help everybody, but I only have so many hours in the day and
Yep.
I got to continue to still build my personal brand, just because everybody knows Starbucks or Coca-Cola doesn't mean that they don't have to, advertise or market. Like they still have to
Hmm.
continue to be top of mind. So it's the same. And I don't think people realize like that in itself is a full time to be
Yeah.
top of mind. So then how are you balancing everything? Because I'm doing what I can to balance. I got to set boundaries. I got to be more intentional about where I spend my time, but I'm just learning that at age 50. You're
Right.
18. What are you doing to do
So
that?
I'm not like the best person to have that time management, but I do try to like put in the commitment that I said I was going to do. So one thing that LinkedIn does offer is accountability. So if
Hmm.
I say that I'm doing something,
Yeah.
then you have to do it. So I am still trying to figure out, okay, how do I want my schedule to go? How do I want my life to work, basically? But like it's hard because I say I'm gonna do something, but then I end up not doing it. Like I'm human, like
Yes.
I do that too. For the most part, if I like something, I am very intrinsically driven. So if I really see value in, say, like for example, the kindness and smile zone that I'm working with, they're really passionate about bringing smiles on children's faces. So I've
Mhm.
always loved working with children. I've always loved working with younger people because, every generation is better than the previous one. So I'm always learning with people who are younger than me, like 15, 16, some even like 2, 3 years old.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, how do I not only take people who are older than me, but also younger than me and learn from that? So I'm growing. And time management has been a very difficult task for me. So I try to like put down like to do things and I try to like block it. So I have like, okay, maybe this much time I can do my education, like AP government, I have to study for that. And then a coffee chat with a person that I connected with on LinkedIn. So stuff like that. But it doesn't always end up how I want it to be. At the end of the day, I still try to get most of those tasks done in whatever order it happens, it happens. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to balance it. And I'm
Yeah.
open for suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out. Otherwise, I'd give suggestions. I think I have to be better about like time blocking. I'm really good about going to my Pilates every morning
Yeah.
and getting my coffee right after. But as far as that, I got to be better about blocking certain times. I think even in regards to like this podcast, I think I might have to be better about blocking certain days.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a Saturday, it's okay, but like I did a Rock the Boat episode before this. I had a call with my filmmakers for my I Hear You Gen Z documentary. I have my best friend's in town. I haven't seen her yet. Like, I got to edit this, I got to do all these things, and then there goes my Saturday.
Right.
So then, like, if I do this on a Saturday and a Sunday, then I try to take it easy, like on Monday. Like I do try to allow myself to at least have one day where I'm not doing much, but it's really hard. It's really difficult for me. I feel like I'm being really unproductive, and I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, me neither. I understand. So, LinkedIn again, it's because I'm on it, they told me to like eat the frog. So, what that means is yeah, I know.
I know about kissing frogs until
Yeah,
you're finding
yeah.
your prince, but
Yeah, they said eat the frog, and I was like, yeah, that's an interesting thing. His name is Adi V,
okay.
and he was like, eat the frog, and I was like, what does that even mean? So I went and I saw that it means you do the hard stuff first, like
Oh,
the
okay.
hard things, and you swallow it.
Right.
And
And
then
apparently frogs
later
are,
the
yeah,
digestion
hard.
becomes easier. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, never
it's
ate one,
hard.
so
It is hard to swallow a frog, I would think so, or eat a frog. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I do try to do that. Like, I do try to say, okay, there has to be one thing that I do a day that's really productive that moves the needle with what I'm trying to do. And I always try to do that first.
right.
Yeah, so I get that. But again, we can be distracted so easily, right? As,
Hmm.
as humans.
Yep.
So then, so you're finishing up school.
Hmm.
And then you'll be going to local, the UT Dallas. That's local for you, right? Are you going
Yes.
to
Yeah.
move to the dorms or are you going to still stay and live at home?
So first year you have to move to the dorms,
Okay.
but I'm planning on just staying at dorms because I've been to the thing, like the event yesterday, and
Oh,
they said that it's better to stay at dorms because you get that connection, you get that community feel and everything. But of course, you can go and live in like apartments or your own house.
right.
Like for me, example, my own house, but it's not necessary. Like, but if I live in my own house, that would be like a 15-minute drive back and forth.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm like,
I
it's better
agree.
to live at dorms.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had roommates that still were local and lived in the dorms for the experience. And then there was people I knew that lived at home and would drive to campus. And the difference in how they connected with students and the difference how they didn't feel like they were really part of like the college community, it there was a big gap there. And
Yeah.
so I encourage, yeah, you to be on campus and to be in the dorms for freshman year because that's the best way for you to like integrate, get to know everybody. It's the same thing with like relationships. I had,
Mhm.
I knew people that had relationships from high school and maintained them. And that was also kind of hard because they were so focused on the relationship and that they really kind of missed out on a lot of that college experience. And
Yeah.
so I'm of the mindset of like, go in there single, get on campus, even if you live close, you can go home and do your laundry. That's a nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
guess
still did that
so.
and I was 2 hours away. I would save my laundry and I would take it home sometimes if I knew I was going to go home. But yeah, I think it's really important to embrace the whole college experience if you
Yeah,
can.
and it's a once in a lifetime thing too. Like college
Exactly.
is definitely not for everyone, and neither is high school.
Right.
But we've also had like a lot of college dropouts and high school dropouts, and that's completely valid.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But experiencing college and knowing those people, you might never know them in the future.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I'm technically a college dropout. I mean, in the sense that I left UCLA for, my mental health and I didn't go back. I left on a medical leave, and so I never went back. But I will say, my best friend who's here in town, guess what? Met her on my first day when I moved into UCLA. My other best friend who lives doors, like 2 blocks down from me, she was my freshman roommate and my junior roommate.
oh,
I still have so many connections from UCLA. I'm going to get to speak and moderate, like I'm going to get to moderate a panel at UCLA next month. So even though I didn't technically graduate and get a degree from UCLA, like I still feel so connected to that school
mhm,
because I was in a sorority. I was like doing everything I possibly could. So even though I don't have the degree from it, it doesn't discount my college experience and the fact that
right.
I was a UCLA student.
Hmm. You
Yeah.
started off as a UCLA student and you ended it as well, but
Yeah, true. That is true. Technically, when I called to see about being able to still get my degree years later, I'm still in the system. They're like, "Oh, your student ID number is like 999 something something something," and I actually cried on the phone. I had tears running down because I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it validated that yeah,
you,
I did go to UCLA and I could still graduate there because sometimes it's still kind of a dream to me, the fact that I
mhm,
even attended such an incredible school. I mean,
yep,
people when they hear that I went there, they're like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yeah, but it was also much easier to get in when I was in high school, so don't get
yep.
too excited."
Yeah, back then it was different. So,
So different. Yeah. So for you, did you feel the competition when you were applying for schools? Did you feel
yeah,
that
for sure.
pressure?
Yeah, definitely. Because everyone like around me, my, you know, like what
Your
do you call
peers,
classmates?
your
Yeah,
classmates,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They were like, oh, I applied to Berkeley, I applied to UCLA, I applied to MIT, I applied to such and such. And people in my community, my parents, and a lot of people, they've been asking, oh, what college did you choose? What is your SAT score? Like that
They're
constant
asking you what your
stress.
actual
Yes,
SAT scores. Okay, I think that
yes,
that's like a little bit, kind of a personal thing. I truly believe that. Like, I didn't do well on my SATs, and if anyone asked me, I would probably cry because I don't know. I feel like there's certain things that it shouldn't be anybody's business.
right. Yeah, yeah. It
And I
is
think it's one of
frustrating.
those.
It is frustrating. Like when people constantly ask you, "Oh, did you get a 1500 in your SAT? Can you tutor me?" I'm like, "Girl, no, I didn't get 1500, but I
It's
still got into UTD,
yeah,
which is an incredible school,
yeah,
and the networking is great, and the teachers and the people are also great. It's not about just the grades that you have, it's also like the people that you're about to meet, your mindset, how you grew up, and your culture.
absolutely.
And
I
especially with like these raids and stuff, and you know, people trying to be deported, and it's getting tougher actually
yeah,
because now Trump is like, we have to only put Americans in this colleges and stuff. So it's like a whole mess for
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But I'm GC, so
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go go and attend school if I wanted to.
Yeah, but it's also crazy that the pressure of applying to these like well-known name schools, it's like, well,
Hmm.
I don't need to necessarily apply to the Yales and the MITs and the Harvards of the world, like it's okay. It's even okay to start out in a community college. Like I
Right.
love that route too. There were a lot of people at UCLA that were transfers from a 2-year community college because in
Mhm.
California, you're guaranteed to get accepted to a UC if you do 2 years of in-state college, community college.
Mhm.
And I think that's great because then you get all like the prerequisites out of the way. You get to kind of maybe really discover what it is that you want to study in your major. So I think there's like so many different routes that are okay. But I would have thought that by now it would have changed. But for whatever reason, it's even more like
Yeah.
competitive and there's even more pressure to go into these well-known schools and
Mhm.
that kind of boggles my mind because I honestly thought it would have flipped by now where people are like who cares if you go to a 4-year institution like
So there are people who do think like, okay, I don't have to be in like a high prestigious
yeah I don't
school
know that
and
many of you
but
that
like
think
I
that way
here in my
yeah
school, so I'm like, yeah, there are people who are like, I don't have to go to Ivies if I
right
just go to Texas A&M or UTD or
which is
Georgia
they're
Tech.
still really good
Yeah, exactly.
schools
They are really good
yeah
schools. They're established to help you, right?
yeah
So, and obviously, you don't have to go to college either. You already figured out how to manage your like business and everything. You created your own life, your own structure. That's completely fine too.
yeah
Like, there's no hate because you have different pathways in life. So, you do you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually had two young men that are 17, seniors in high school, and on Rock the Boat, and they have a junk removal business, and they're doing
Mm,
really well to the point where they spoke about it with their parents, and everyone agreed, and everybody was like, "Okay, why are you going to go to college when you already have a business that's actually doing well? You're
yeah.
already learning like real life skills with what you're
Hmm.
doing." What's the point of going to debt for 4 years when you already know what you want to do? And
Right.
so they are going to bypass it. And I'm like, good for you guys. And as long as everybody's on the same page and their parents are supporting them and, they thought about the decision, like, why not? But you
Yeah.
rarely hear about that, to be honest.
Yeah. So in like these big things that's been going on aside from Trump and all of that and getting into college and having that rigorous competition, I've also heard that now majority of the MBA degrees that people are getting, they're not very useful anymore
Mm,
because companies are not looking at, oh, do you have an MBA degree? Like it's great to have,
yeah.
but it's more. about how fast or how long did you already stay or get into the game. You wouldn't know how to make a business, you wouldn't know how to be an employee if you already are not an employee, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking at that, and right now it's so weird to see that there's still people who are applying for MBA degrees and they're still high in demand for that. But those don't actually help. Like there's been studies and there's been like, I can't really name them on top of my head,
Hmm.
but I've seen studies, I've done research about this because I've been having like doubts, like should I even do an MBA degree, should
Mm.
I even like go to college and actually get my computer science engineering because I'm double majoring. So is that like even worth it? And I'm like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. Just see what college has to offer, let's see what opportunities I get, and then we'll go from there. So, yeah, if you want to already do a startup, like on LinkedIn, I see a lot of people who are already doing startups and they already have like funding and they already have like initial wait list amount of money that they've already had. And it's amazing. And that also gives me hope. I don't exactly have to finish my degree, I can just go in and be an adult, I guess.
Yeah, but I think just the college experience, like meeting friends again, like these are girlfriends. I mean, I have some guy friends too that I'm still friends with from college, and it's just to have those people still in my life and having being friend like they have kids, I have kids, like now they know my kids. I have some friends where I'm like Auntie
Right.
Rocky, like there's
Yep.
something about that that's really special. So I would love that for you at least, to go to school and find some lifelong friends there and just,
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. But
Yeah.
it's also, again, these friends, they don't like last a whole lot. So yes, it's a blessing and an honor to gain those lifelong friends, but that's initially why you're even going to college is because of the people. Like college in itself, college, the building is just any other
Yeah.
company. It's just like structured, right? It's the people that make everything, which is what they emphasize when I went to their event
Oh yeah.
yesterday. So that is not like yes, I want like those long lasting friends, but it's also not why I'm going into college. It's also like the resources. It's
It's like a
also like
byproduct of it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's what's so cool is that I had really good friends in high school that I'm still friends with. So I thought,
Mhm.
oh, I already have like really strong friendships with these, young girls from high school.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to find those in college. Like that's kind of how I thought. And then here I did in college. And then so I didn't expect it. And wasn't even going to be in a sorority. Like that wasn't
No.
on my plan.
But
And
you just went.
I didn't go through rush or anything. I ended up
Oh, okay.
meeting some of the girls at a football game, and they
Mhm.
were super cool. And then that's how I ended up in the Alpha Phi sorority. But it was because I met them just kind of out and about and thought these were really cool girls they were like really down to earth. They weren't like your typical sorority girls, at least what I thought was like a typical sorority girl.
Mhm.
And that's like how it started. I didn't rush because that wasn't my plan.
Right, yeah, and you
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah. So, um, but again, some people do it because they want to be able to find community pretty quickly. But I am also, as you can see, someone that talks to a lot of people. Love people. I'm always like meeting people just throughout the day. So for me, I didn't feel like I needed a sorority in order to
Mhm.
make friends.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like, nah. And then here I ended up in one.
Yeah,
But,
I've struggled with people and communication, and
oh, really?
yeah, like when I was a kid, I would not speak a whole lot. I would
Mm,
be very, very quiet. And my parents would tell me that I used to be the child, like if you came into my house and you were working as a housemaid, I wouldn't even like sit make a single peep. Like I wouldn't even cry.
oh
And I would
gosh.
be very trustable to adults. Like I would just go. Like if they carried me, I
Yeah.
would just go to them and they would just carry me for like a little while and I would go back to my parents. I wouldn't I wouldn't make a mess at all. But now it's completely different because now I started learning that that's not how humans are. Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
not, just meant to be like quiet in your own space. Like, it's good to have. I still am that quiet person. I'm still that, I still have those qualities. It's just that now I've more developed that voice
Mm-hmm.
through school, through competitions, through people, like through my parents as well. And they keep telling me, like, you can't just stay quiet the whole time. You can't just be nothing, right? You can like try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least, speak up and try and do something, which I really appreciate them for, because they've put in those initial, I guess, stepping stones
Mm-hmm.
and foundation. So I really like appreciate anything that I get.
Yeah, no, that's really great to hear because it is important to find your voice and then to have family members and people around you encouraging you to have a voice. Because
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I had one and I wasn't encouraged to have one. And I
Mm,
think that was a big reason for my depression. There was, I think, so many things, but not feeling like I had a voice. And then when you're quiet all the time and you're not saying a peep, you're basically conforming to like everybody and a people pleaser, all these
right.
attributes that at the end of the day, like they're not healthy. And so I was a people pleaser. I wouldn't say no. Like I didn't really feel like I had a voice. Like all of these things, I was a perfectionist that at some point, like it can really take its toll on you mentally. And that's what happened to me in college, is it took a toll on me mentally where I'm like, I'm trying to be perfect and I'm not. So what's
Hmm.
wrong with me?
Hmm.
Or like I'm not happy. And I was told that you're like life's supposed to be happy and easy. Like I don't know why I thought life was supposed to be easy and it wasn't. When I found out that it wasn't, I thought I was doing life wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that
I
makes
was like,
sense.
wait, it's kind of hard and I'm sad at times and there's difficulties here. So then what am I doing that's not right? Because I was made to believe that it was supposed to be like pretty easy
Easy.
and happy.
Yeah.
It's kind
So
of weird.
life, I would say, yeah, I mean, that is just like your conditioning that you've been
Yeah.
used to. But I would say when you start off, you're happy. Like, you're happy and you're perfect. But then as you grow older and you start realizing, okay, the way that this construct is built,
Hmm.
I call it the conscious world,
Yeah.
but yeah, this material world, basically, how it's built is completely different than how we started,
Yeah.
right? At
True.
that time, we didn't know what material world was. We didn't know what spiritual world was. We didn't know anything. We were just a
Mm-mm.
pure ball of joy. That's it, right? To our parents, to everyone around us, we were just that, like babies, right? And we didn't know all of this. And as we grow, it's like we start to realize that, okay, maybe there's something more, there's something else. And that's the weird part, because people who are young are like, oh, how fast can I grow? Like,
Hmm.
when do I get to be that adult? Now, when you're actually an adult, like 18 or like 22 and whatnot, now you're like, wait a minute, why did I say I wanted to grow up so fast? I want to go back. I want to go and see what I would have done 8 years old, and think about that mentality and see what she had to say and heal that girl first and reparent her and then continue with my life. So it's a journey and it's not
Yeah.
perfect. So, yeah.
Well, at least you acknowledge that. Because I didn't. Again, I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
life has to be perfect. What do you mean a journey? Like, I'm like, what's that? Yeah, I was, at the core, I'm the same person, but
Mhm.
I was conditioned in so many ways to
Yeah,
think a certain way. And now that I am 50 and I've done therapy, I just had my 2-year anniversary of therapy. Um, it's like you realize, like, wow, we really do try to live up to this like standard that I don't even know where it comes from, but it's
exactly.
there. And like, just you think that you're supposed to live a certain way and act a certain way and all of these things. And then you just like ignore your inner voice and you ignore
Mhm.
your intuition and your gut and what all of these things. And it's,
Yeah,
it's really tough.
it is tough. I faced that too. And I've seen multiple teenagers, multiple adults as well, who are still going through it. And I thought, wait, if adults are still going
Mm,
through it, then why can I not work on it now? Why can
Yeah.
I not do it now? So that when I do become an adult, when I do have children, when I do like grow up, I can have a healthier life, like a little bit better, because the
Yeah.
only competition I have is my previous self and my future self and my present self, right?
Yeah.
So if I focus on it right now and I become better, I think that's also what you've been trying to do,
Yeah.
so that you and your children can do better and, live a good life.
Yeah. I mean, I find that your generation is acknowledging that at a younger age.
Hmm.
You know, that self-awareness. I think that that's such a gift that you guys are having that as a younger at a younger age so that you can hopefully become your true self even younger than as opposed to waiting till like you're an adult way down the
Right.
road.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my gosh, I missed out on all these years of just like being myself and doing things differently and you know, having more contentment in my life. If,
Yeah.
so I think that's one thing that people should acknowledge with your generation as a plus for
Yeah.
sure.
I think that also comes with the AI boom, you know?
Mm,
People have been seeing that increase in AI, that inauthenticity, and you can see it all across every social media, not just LinkedIn.
yeah,
It's everywhere, right? Now there's like a high amount of that AI, and people who are realizing that that self-awareness and gaining that higher consciousness is actually running at a slower rate than AI.
yeah.
So a lot of people are also trying to like increase that momentum. And that paradigm, I guess you could
Yeah,
call it, or phenomenon, is kind of interesting to watch, and to know that you are part of it as it's happening is also another unique thing to look at. Because 10 years from now, and you look back, you're like, wait, why was that such a big thing? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But
yeah,
yeah, it is going on, and it's very, I guess, weird to look at it, because no one knows what's going to happen. And it wasn't made before. Like, it's a completely new thing that's everyone trying to figure out. So,
yeah. I think because of that, though, at least for myself, and, you know, I believe that because of AI and a lot of the videos being altered and you don't know what's real or not, like you're willing to be even more stripped down in your videos.
mhm,
Like I'm someone that I appreciate people that are just like pull up the phone and they're in their car or they're in that wherever they are and they just start speaking and having like a real like authentic moment. Like to
mhm,
me, I think before people would cringe and be like, "Oh my gosh, like they just like posted themselves with no filter in the moment like yikes, that's a little freaky." Now I feel like people are craving that when they see that. They're like, "Oh, yay, someone who just like, is okay with who they are." I mean, I posted probably one of the most unflattering videos of myself last week. I mean, the lighting was awful. I had just worked out my hair. I mean, I looked my age. It was awful, but I had something to say in that moment and I didn't want to like have it be rehearsed and I didn't want to be like, okay, let me wait till I shower because by the time I shower and I do my hair and whatever, like it's going to be gone. That moment that I
mhm,
had is gone. So I was like, I need to document it now. I want to share it now. So be it that I look like this. But I think there's something about that where people could be like, okay, she really was being like true in the moment
mhm,
and being real. And
mhm.
that now is like, it's almost like a commodity,
Yeah, it is. It
because of
is.
AI.
Yeah.
Like, who knew? Because even 2 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
everything, like you said, everything's going so fast and developing so quickly that, yeah, one day you're thinking something and the next you're like, whoa, I wish I would have been more present
Hmm.
in that moment at that time because now everything's changed.
Yeah, that's why I emphasize now, 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 because the next second, if I'm gone, like if I'm dead, because anything can happen. If
Yeah,
I'm just done, then there's no guarantee that I'm going to get another life. And if I
yeah,
do, it's not going to be the same.
yeah.
So
You'll
that's
be a cat
also,
or something or a hawk
yeah, unless you're
or a
that.
frog.
Sure.
You'll be a frog and someone will eat you. No, just kidding. Or
Let's hope
kiss
not.
you.
No, no, let's hope not. But yeah, so it's that way that people are now kind of realizing that yeah, life has something to offer for me right now and it's working in my favor. So I have to focus on what I can do right now, which is why on LinkedIn, on social media apps, you're seeing this huge increase in startups in AIs and building these companies. Because previously, right, in 2000s or 2015 for that matter, there haven't been a whole lot of billionaires or trillionaires, right?
Yeah.
That's like, oh my god, that's such a high level elite thing. Now it's easy, like
Now being a
anyone can.
millionaire is like
I mean it's I mean when I say easy, I mean it's a
no,
little bit.
but no, but you're right. Where like now there's so many millionaires where like
Yeah,
now it's not as lucrative as like it used to be one day.
yeah.
Like when someone says, "Oh, $1 million," a lot of people are like, "What's $1 million going to buy you these days?" You
Yeah,
know? That's
yeah.
why I'm like, yeah, no, it's true though.
Yeah, so I meant like it's not easy, but like it's a lot, I guess, attainable. It's more attainable than it was previously,
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to like tell.
yeah.
And yeah, like you said, being a millionaire right now is like, are you sure that's enough?
Seriously. Like they did like a questionnaire or something with
Hmm.
Gen Zers and they're like, how much money would you have to make in order to like live comfortably? And a lot of them, they were like, it was like a number that was definitely six figures and,
Hmm.
you know, over 500,000 or something. And everybody's like, all right, what? Like, that's what you think in order to just live comfortably.
You're right.
So yeah, just even the expectation of what they should be making is much
Yeah, because
higher.
that exploitation of trees, of many, like everything that we have in general,
Yeah.
it's increasing ever more than before. So, like you said, that
Yeah.
question,
It's
that
like the Lorax.
interview.
Have you seen the Dr. Seuss's
Yes,
Lorax?
I have.
I
It
feel
is.
like people should rewatch that. I feel like the Lorax now is like so relevant, which is really crazy to think because when Dr. Seuss wrote that, probably what in the 70s or
Maybe, yeah.
maybe even before. I don't know. I mean, it was you know, a book for me when I growing up and then the movie. But now if you watch the movie, you're thinking like, how is it that we're here decades later and this is still so relevant?
I know. We actually watched that movie in my AP Environmental Science class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She played it. I think it was like right before break. I think it
okay.
was before Thanksgiving break. Yeah, the day before, and we were learning about, how it's affecting our environment and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because even Trump is like environment, global warming is such a hocus
Yeah.
or pocus or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
hoax. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I
Yeah.
don't even know what to believe anymore. And
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just it's also just crazy to see how many things from the past, like you said, like the whole history repeating itself. If you
mhm,
don't learn from the
your
past,
mistakes.
then you know also repeat. So that's kind of like what we're seeing now.
Hmm.
And I'm just hoping that your generation and the next generation start recognizing like something's got to give. Um, you know, we can't just keep repeating
Yeah.
like this type of history.
But it
But
also ties down to that ignorance, is that like you can't really control other people. The only thing you can do is control yourself. So
yeah,
even if you try and advocate, even if you do these podcasts, and even if you give information, there always going to be someone that's going to not want to do it because it's easier to be comfortable. It's easier
oh
to
yeah,
just lay down on your bed and just not do all of this. And that's why a lot of people are also facing this depression, this anxiety, this ADHD. It's increasing as well. As much as AI is, that is also, and there's also been like decrease in that immunity that COVID-19 happened, and a lot of people passed away during that time.
hmm
And it's scary, yeah, for sure. Like life can get scary, but we can try to do something better.
yeah,
We have that privilege. But when everyone looks at themselves as animals and nothing more, it kind of gets tough because that's not what we're meant for.
yeah,
So yeah, we have that characteristic inside of ourselves, but we also need to like try and get better to who we really are, as humans. We have that higher consciousness, we have that gift we've been given. So, and a lot of people are not using it. It's sad to see over, like,
yeah,
across social media.
yeah. But I guess, you know, if we can have these type of conversations and just talk about it more and
Hmm.
then, you know, at least we're we're trying to our part
Yeah.
and move the needle in that respect. But I think that's a perfect way to wrap up the podcast. And again, I love what you said, that it's so important to just be present in the moment. So hopefully that's something that people can at least, one of the many things that people can take away from this
Mhm.
conversation, is really trying to be present and honoring
Us.
yourself
Yep.
and your voice and your, intuition and all of those things too.
Yeah, it reminds me of that one quote, now is the time. I think it was said by Martin Luther King Jr. So now is the time during his like I dream like we
Yeah,
I
I
have a
have a
dream
dream speech.
speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that. I don't think it's the famous part, but it's in
It's
there.
in there. It's an excerpt
Hmm.
in from it. Wow. Well, that's a great way to end. And thanks again for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.